question everything, for the truth should not be televised, and that's for sure. So with that, I don't know, just imagine, being enslaved. Just imagine it. Just think, if you was to go into slavery, what do you think they would do? All sorts of stuff, right? They would do all sorts of stuff. We got a history of it as Aboriginal Niggros of America. But what would they really do? Would they stop you from reading for 20 years? Would they stop your culture and you passing your culture on to your inheritors? Would they stop you from knowing where you're from? Even if you're from a certain land, would they take that out of your mind and not allow you to know that by outlawing you from talking about it or learning about it as generations come? Would they stop you from speaking your own tongues, your own language, and teach you a new language, so that way you won't be able to speak your own language? Would they take your identity? Would they even sell your identity of who you are to somebody else? Would they allow other people to adopt your culture and take over your culture? These are questions that, you need to know. Would they take your history from you and give it to somebody else and give you a different history to keep you under confusion? What would they do to you in slavery besides the physical heinous part of it? What about the psychological and the spiritual part of it? Would they demonize you to push self-hate within yourself? Would they use your items that you had as your own through your culture against you, to demonize it against you, so that way you will hate your own structures and own creativity based off of your own heritage, based off of them using it against you? What would they do? What would it look like if somebody came and took over your nation? Would they allow you to continue to function as a nation? Would they confuse that all up? Would they destroy the households and the family? What would they do? If you was moral, would they destroy morality amongst you as a nation? What would they do to you if you was enslaved or being enslaved? These are realities. Now, how would you know? How would you know at the 200, 300, 400 years that they did all these things to you? How would you know that the land that you're saying you're from is a lie and you actually from the land that you're standing on? How would you know if all your information came from them? How would you know if your identity that they've been selling you, all the different nationalities that they've been giving you, have any merit or any truth to it? What if your identity was taken and sold to somebody else and they just gave you identities to mask the lie to keep you stuck in the position that you're in, so that way you don't war or do any type of rebellions for your land or your resources that have been taken from you? What would they do if they came to enslave you? How would that look? What would it be like? Is it too far-fetched to think that they would do these type of sinister things to you? Or is it not? Well, I just don't know. And I just don't understand. But that is a question. You let